currently about 5:45 in the morning, and we are just loading up the trucks ready to go. Had a bit of a problem with the Matador. Turns out it's slightly porous.
Oh, lovely. They are very, very, very nice to drive once you get your head round how it works.
It will be fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine. This is going well. It's going really well. Well, it's been eventful, hasn't it, so far, Matt?
Get that wreck off the road!
Goodbye, England. Did we remember to bring all the vehicles?
Yes, I guess.
Take me away. Blue skies. Where are we?
Leopoldsburg,
Where's that?
Belgium.
Okay.
Just south of Holland.
Well, it's 8 AM on the second day. Tried sleeping in the Matador, and actually it was alright. But there was no falling water overnight, so we've got to try and fix the roof today before it comes again. Fingers crossed.
Old British Army truck, leaky roof lets water in. Painted green like forest shade, boys from Shopland sleep within. Holland roads and
We can
tire
drive the
spin.
campus today.
Driving through the rain.
Scaffolding's here.
Convoy stretching far behind. In that Matador so tight, water drips and dreams are real. In the back they softly feel. Rolling
James, what are we doing?
Best laid plans didn't quite go as planned. So the canvas dipped and has leaked. So we've had to take the canvases off. We've brought some plywood with us, and we're making a plywood sort of roof so the water doesn't pile onto the canvas. And hopefully we can have 2 weeks of dry beds.
laughter grows through each puddle, through each storm. In this truck,
Thanks, Paul.
our stories flow.
How many volunteers does it take to fix the roof?
Water drips. What's going on? Real.
Gotta keep my
In the back they softly feel rolling wheels and gentle sway.
Tom Cruise jumps up.
He's just like Tom Cruise, isn't he?
Yeah, I like the reference.
Getting there. You wouldn't even know there were 15 layers of canvas under there.
We got a stealth truck. We could put a nuclear bomb in a 1940s stealth.
It might feel like there's a nuclear bomb in there.
It's ground.
You're right, so when you
Across these lands we make our
There we go. You enjoying yourself?
comfort found. Sky is gray and gray and wind and howl, but inside.
Cheers. Cheers. Happier? Thumbs up? Yay! How was the food? Oh, okay, great.
See if she'll start
Our
first.
stories flow.
Got the dingo running again. It's needed for a special mission tomorrow.
Morning, Harry.
Hiya.
Welcome back.
We don't know how he got here.
I don't know, I just turned up.
Well, we just woke up and he already had his hands in the engine bay.
Fairly certain we summoned him.
He sleeps with his hand in the engine bay.
So in September 1944, the Household Cavalry Regiment came down this road from the Dutch-Belgian border to the town of Valkenswaard to see if the bridge could take armoured vehicles, and reconnaissance in the front of 30 Corps breakout into Operation Market Garden.
So this was conducted by two dingoes, one by Lieutenant Buchanan Jardine and called the Books, where they went to the CAF and the locals greeted them thinking they were liberated, where they were given a drink and given information by the Dutch locals, and managed to conduct their mission successfully. And then upon returning to the front lines, the Dutch civilians that helped the British in that reconnaissance were killed by the German forces, and it was described by Sir General Brian Horrocks of 30 Corps that was the most daring wrecking mission conducted of the Second World War. And so these were the first two British vehicles onto Dutch soil.
Through the pouring rain, returning to our home again, leaving behind the old cafe, heading back to celebrate. Fancy dinner's on tonight, everyone's dressed up so right. Wine is flowing, feels so good in a tent under the woods. Chandelier lights up our night, everything just feels so bright. Good food lovers all around, home in Belgium safe and sound. Traveling these roads so long, every turn a familiar song. Back to base where we belong, joining in where all hearts throng.
Shook the ground well with that.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I am.
Okay.
Oh.
She looks after us, doesn't she, Chris?
She certainly does, yeah.
See, in these weather conditions, the tailgate of Matador makes a nice bike garage. Always be prepared. Oh, expensive things. Sadly, we couldn't bring our Fox, so we're just going to nick this one. We're gonna hang out our washing on the Siegfried line. Tanks, trucks, and girt big guns. These guys actually drove in this about 300 miles just to reach the start line. Crazy! So this morning Harry fixed the Matador, so now it's charging, which is nice. It's a very handy guy to know. And we went off to the museum here in Leopoldsburg, which tells the story of the town during the Second World War. It's very modern. Lots of interactive exhibits, tells lots of nice stories. It's also had a VR exhibit where you can fly a Spitfire. I think a few of our members have never tried virtual reality before, so that was quite exciting.
Oh yeah. Oh, we've given them hell now, boys. Yes, some of that.
Boom! Hey!
So we are here in the museum, and our camp is over here. So this guy Charles was shot down and hidden by the resistance until he was found by the Gestapo and locked up in the camp we're staying in. He fell in love with a Belgian girl and married her. Here's a happy ending. Temperature's dropping quite a lot. It's pretty chilly. So we're coming to the end of Friday, which is the 5th day on camp. We've been mainly forming up and peppering over the course of the week. We also refueled. Today was a day of briefings, so we had the squadron leaders briefing earlier, followed by the squadron briefing, which our unit will be forming part of Squadron Juliet, which also contains the garrison artillery volunteers with their 25-pounders. Tomorrow we're going to be heading up to Joe's Bridge again, where the garrison are going to be setting up firing positions and recreating the artillery barrage which preceded 30 Corps' advance into Holland. And the convoy will pass us and head off to the next camp.
James trusts me to drive the Jeep.
Just the once.
Everyone's very excited, but it's time for an early night, so here's a montage of Harry Day. Everyone's packing up. Are you ready, James?
Typical army situation of lots of rush and then wait. So here we are, hour and a half beforehand, ready to go.
Just doing my customary walk around before we get going. We've got carriers forming up. Morning! Those guys had their tracks off yesterday, so it's good to see it running again. Similarly, I think one of these ambulances had major mechanical problems and they managed to get a pump shipped to them at the camp and fit it on site. So just made it in time, after suffering a blowout on the motorway, of course. Now the Matador, lovely machines, obviously. Shermans. And what's that noise? Oh, it must be Sam with the diving team and the sexton. Got the Achilles in an anti-tank roll. White scout car. Oh, this is Big Jesse. Yeah. L Squadron. Got a Humber armoured car similar to our Dingo. Just different design. We've got Squadron J with our echelon. The Matador, of course, the Matasnor, command vehicles, Andy's Austin recovery truck, also operating as the comms centre. Kiwi!
Kiwi! Morning!
Morning, Keith!
Yes.
25-pounder guns, artillery tractors and limbers. We're forming up the convoy now. It's quite noisy in here. Lovely day though. Look at that! Juliet Alpha 1, this is Juliet Alpha 5, radio check, over.
Juliet Alpha 1, all comms good.
We are at Lommel, at Joe's Bridge, as you can see behind me. The convoy has already progressed over the top. We are firing in support of the convoy, as it would have been done in 1944. We have 8 guns firing off 25-pounder artillery pieces. They will be firing 7 shots per gun, plus a Sexton self-propelled gun over in the corner. He will also be firing. The public are behind us, as you can probably see. There's quite a nice crowd today. Variety of ages. There's a ceremony starting at 2 o'clock over there with the British Legion by the look of it. And then there'll be a mayor. We'll be firing at about 20 past 2, 25 past 2, and there will be a major from the Dutch Army as well joining in for the firing.
So whilst everyone else is setting up gun positions and in the convoy, we have our priorities straight and went straight to the cafe. This is pretty incredible to see. So poor Dan got, well, you had a little accident, didn't you, yesterday?
I did, yes.
Came off your bike?
Yes.
It did some damage.
Yeah, so the community has come together and we've now
Re-welded the peg, the casting,
forging,
which had snapped off in the accident. And what did you say about this? This is straighter now than it was before.
So the brake lever, thanks to the Guernsey team, is straighter than it's ever been, and that has now been. There was actually a fault in the metal which was discovered, and it's now been drilled, pinned, epoxy, and metal and TIG welded with stainless steel.
It's amazing how people can come together to help each other.
Amazing, because I thought the tour was over yesterday.
Yeah,
and, it's
on
now,
the first day.
Yeah, and it's now back up and running.
Morning, Matt. How are you?
Morning, I'm okay, getting back into the stride of things. I think it's going to be a warm day, but there's a lot of moisture and dew in the grass. So,
Ready to lead the charge?
yeah, ready to lead Belgian contingent.
Excellent.
So I first military vehicle I went in when I was 10, 11 years old was an Austin K5 in Kibworth in Leicestershire, because my dad knew Jack and Dave Crouch, and Dave Crouch had just restored one of those, and I went in one of those for a few miniature vehicle shows, and that's how I got hooked on the hobby. And 48 years ago I'm now driving one, or co-driving one, so
Great story.
there you go.
Thank you for having us.
So we're bringing out the back of the convoy and we've got the green flag. Harry over there and Matt in the dingo. They've got the blue flag signalling they're the first vehicle in our group. What could be more Dutch? So Molly's been put to use not only as a dormitory but also as breakdown today, because our Belgian friends had a little bit of trouble. We're now trying to find the rest of J Squadron again. Andy from the garrison is also playing breakdown. He's got himself a quad. This over here is H Squadron, so we're trying to find out where J is so we can rejoin them. Where the hell have you been? So it's Sunday night?
Sunday night in Bruges.
Bruegel, I was told it was called. Thank you very much.
Dutch accent.
It's hard to put into words, this, and it's something that's come back to me and something that stayed with me since the last time we were here 5 years ago, which is this enormous sense of gratitude from a nation, which is very strange. It's not something I've ever experienced before. And it really struck me when we were here last time that the Dutch people have a sort of hereditary gratitude for the people that came here 80 years ago to liberate this. Today we were stopping at several places and there are people lining the roads, all very happy to see us, putting on like food, entertainment, making speeches, and I mean we obviously weren't there. We didn't do it, but we're here commemorating people that did do it, and that obviously means a lot to them. The people who came up to us last night were in the bar.
Yeah. I had a conversation with when I've been in Arnhem over many years with the veterans, and when I was there and I felt a bit of an intruder, and the Dutch people, my Dutch friends said, well, you would have come, it would have been you, it could have been you, if you were of that generation it would have been you. And I think as a Brit, I think we can't appreciate what it was like to have been invaded, to have your nation overrun, to have been subjected to the SS, the Gestapo and all the horrors that went forth. And I think the gratitude has spans generation. The Dutch people desperately want, and I don't say desperately is the wrong word, but they want to remember, they want to tell their children, this is what we experienced, this is what we went through, and please don't do it again. And for me today I was very touched. We went into the last village and they'd remembered the 3 soldiers that were killed in their village, and they had pictures of them, a young lieutenant and a trooper. And for me that hit me most, probably the thing this trip that hit me most was the gratitude again, of course, just mentioned that, but also the fact they'd gone and they'd researched their histories, they'd looked into them, and they had pictures of them there and there in that very spot that they'd lost their lives. So for me again, I found that very touching, and our hobby is a bit crazy, like who comes halfway across Europe.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's easy to get distracted by the big green things and say, oh yeah, tanks, guns, whoa, okay, cool, fun. But like the actual, like one of the main reasons you do it is because some people did something bloody awesome.
It's to commemorate and remember, and also for me personally, the vehicles are really the tangible reminder. The veterans are gone, they're all that's left, and when we take them down the road, it's just sort of a slight insight into what they went through, the smells. You know, we've lived under canvas now for 7 days, you just said. It's pretty hard work, we're all pretty tired and a bit grumpy with each other.
But we're not being shot at.
We're not being shot at, exactly, of course. Our lives are not in danger.
Last time when we were here, it just grew and grew throughout the tour. This amazing expression of thanks from a nation to another. It makes me look forward to the next step. And tomorrow we are off with the garrison early to go to one of their last firing, Arnhem. And also, hopefully to meet up with the airborne.
The American airborne, the first introduction of the Americans this trip.
Yes.
They were in the Second World War, everyone, just in case you forgot.
Yeah, it wasn't all Britain.
It wasn't
there
just
were
all Britain
others.
in the Second World War.
Yeah, okay. See you tomorrow.
We went to Den Bosch today because my father was part of the 53rd Welsh Division that liberated Den Bosch in October 1944.
So Rudolph, where are we?
We are in Den Bosch.
Den Bosch. What's the long name for that town?
's-Hertogenbosch.
Easy.
Right. Easy.
And this building is?
In Dutch it's called a Tuighuis. It's the heritage center of Den Bosch.
Excellent.
And it's in English you would call it the armory, but it started out in the 1430s as a chapel, and then later converted to a church, and then to a warehouse, and then to the armory, and now heritage center.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They've been lovely to us, haven't they?
Yeah. It's a good place.
We went to the Heritage Centre in Den Bosch, and then we went to the town hall to see the Welsh room in the town hall, which was very good and a lovely day. This is a monument to the 53rd Welsh Division that liberated the town in October 1944. This was their CEO, Major General Ross.
And on the window we've got the names of soldiers who died. Yeah, fantastic day actually. Really great hospitality.
Certainly was, yeah.
Old trucks rumble down the lane, off to Holland we go again. Engine sputters, but we won't stop. Boys from Shopland are on top. Keeps are bouncing, tanks are creaking through the fields. The wind is speaking, pipes are leaking, but
On the move again. Half the convoys had to cross the road to go and find a place to turn round. We're gonna carry on.
through the snow we'll keep rolling, come what may. Boys are on their way today. Motors coughing, gears are grinding, but to freedom we're all binding. Rusty wheels keep turning around.
Hello. Yeah, who caused the traffic jam? That's what I want to know. Working okay? Everything's fine, he says. Everything.
So we put fuel pump over here.
Yeah.
And all the hose is new up until the carburetor.
Got there in the end.
The only thing we did change, because we had not enough fuels, the house, is we suck the fuel up here. So we have to,
so you have to keep
fill it
the
up.
type. Yeah, really high.
And the rest is for if we are back in Belgium.
Hands are waving, flags are high. With our dreams we touch the sky. Every mile's a brand new show.
Is it working today? Okay. Turns out it's quite hard to turn diamond round. Whose fault was that?
It's not ours.
Daar in de buurt zit. Ja, ik vind het heel leuk.
So we're at Erde, and this is the first proper day of Market Garden, the anniversary of Market Garden. We were a little bit early with the convoy before. So we're going to have an artillery shoot in the background over here in support of the air landings, and hopefully we'll actually see the modern day 101st Airborne landing in one of these fields close up. So
both in parachute and by Black Hawk, I believe. So fingers crossed. Exciting day.
Very exciting.
Just have to wait now. It's only 4 hours.
Yeah, we've got a 4 hour wait now. Oh my god!
Let's do it.
Yay!
Careful or not so careful with the needle.
You are cute. No, you are very sweet. Long walk from here. today's video was posted, there was a lot of jollity and merrymaking at the party, and thanks very much to the 101st Airborne Band, who were excellent. I think there were a few sore heads in the morning as we headed out from the campsite going to Oversalt, I think I pronounced that right, via Uden and Grave.
Old trucks rumble down the lane, boys from Shopland off again. Gonna see those tulip plains, Holland's calling through the rain. Vintage wheels and army green, laughing loud and feeling seen, sleeping under stars so keen, adventure wild as any dream. Shopland boys on a joyful ride through the fields and countryside. In old trucks we'll confide, Holland's charm we won't hide. Engine purrs and tires roll, every mile warms our soul. Hidden spots beyond control, friendship makes us feel whole. Bouncing o'er the pebbled ground in this truck.
Matt's going to tell us about the importance of the Grave Bridge.
In September 1944, First Lieutenant John Thompson took his platoon to capture this bridge over the River Maas. He turned up with his platoon and there was German positions, 3 20mm flak positions and 2 lorries of German troops turned up. He was able to take out the flak positions from the opposite side with bazookas. The Germans in the lorries fled and they were able to put in a roadblock, remove any demolition equipment from the bridge and await for the rest of the 82nd Airborne to hold the bridge until 30 Corps arrived.
So 30 Corps actually crossed this bridge?
Yes, 30 Corps crossed this bridge.
After crossing the river, we arrived at our new campsite, which is on the 82nd Airborne drop zone area around Nijmegen, and we were able to witness the C-47 doing more parachute drops.
Let's go,
It's quite a long cable.
Let's
Got to need quarter and clutch linkage. Shorter day.
Home from home for every military vehicle owner.
That's where your money goes.
All the money. So today was a very action-packed day for our element of XXX Squadron as we broke away from the main group. The garrison are going to move on to their final gun positions. We drove off up Hell's Highway towards Nijmegen and crossed the famous bridge there, recreating a scene from 5 years earlier when we brought 2 dingoes over this bridge for the first time in many years. It was quite an evocative scene. After the fog cleared, we arrived at Driel.
So we're currently located at Delisle. This was where the Polish Airborne Forces were, and this is where the 2 HGR had linked up with the Polish Airborne Forces, or 1 troop from C Squadron, 2 HGR, and this is also where the remainder, eventually, of the Sherman tanks of 30 Corps linked up with us. So this is as far as 30 Corps got to Arnhem.
Making our way up the riverbank, we arrived at Arnhem and the famous John Frost Bridge, where we were able to get our vehicles crossing over, doing what XXX Corps had not been able to do back in 1944, because Arnhem wasn't liberated until 1945. There are a lot of commemorations planned around the battle for Arnhem, lots of airborne flags. And we took a trip up inside the church tower, which was amazing and enabled a grandstand view into an understanding of the area of the battle, such as the distance the Polish forces had to travel to get to the bridge.
There is the railway bridge, so Driel is over there, and they had to get from there all the way here to this bridge, which is a heck of a long way.
And what a difficult challenge it must have been.
Rush hour in Arnhem.
After that, we set up at a local campsite where it was time for some dinner and colouring in.
Very proud of you, Pete.
Today we start the day at Ginkle Heath. We were hoping to stop here for a bit longer, but unfortunately it's all locked down because apparently I believe the King's coming. But just behind me you can see the heath. This is where the main power drop was for the operation over Arnhem. Obviously there's the others of Wolf Hayes, Renkham, but obviously you can see how exposed it is for the paratroopers. But also we've just driven that distance and we're good sort of 8 to 10 miles out of town, and obviously for us in the old vehicles it really gives us a feeling of how far they had to travel to get into town and how far they were away from their objective at the Bridge of Arnhem.
We are at Oosterbeek cemetery, where many of the fallen men are buried from the Battle of Arnhem. Today we were here to pay our respects to the interment of the ashes of Bill Williams. Bill was part of 3 Para, and the very Reverend Jeff Cattell made a lovely address about his life, his family, how he conducted himself in battle, how he at the earliest age of 18 applied for membership of the Paras, and it is always a mixed pleasure. It is with deep respect that we are here, and at the same time form new friendships and realize that we have to make this world a little bit better every day, and try to do that here today. Thank you.
Over in Nijmegen, the garrison artillery volunteers were firing in support of the Waal river crossing being done by reenactors, which is quite a sight to see. Unfortunately we missed it, but here's a couple of clips.
Well, this afternoon we went to the Westerbouwen first, and that's a marvellous place. It's where the 4th Dorset Regiment fought, and lots of the veterans who couldn't escape anymore went down to the Rhine, and they tried to hide on narrowboats. Unfortunately, after the 4th or the 5th day, they needed fresh water, and they were seen by the Germans and captured. And we were therefore one of the last remaining members from the 4th Dorset Regiment, Wally Smith. And since he passed away, we had made a promise to him that we would be there every year to lay a wreath. So we did that, and it was really nice that you were all there together. And after that we went to Klingelbeek, and that's an elderly people's home. Really nice, because the old ladies, they love the young blokes, and they just said like, oh, you may sit on my lap and stuff like that. They absolutely adored it, and they were really pleased you adored it too, and that you might return. So they will talk for weeks about this, so that's really fun. But yeah, it was actually a great day.
We also managed to see some Arnhem landmarks, including the hospital and the glider pilot memorial, before leaving, crossing back over the new bridge from where we could see the old John Frost Bridge, and meeting up with the rest of the convoy at Bemmel for the last night. Here we set up camp for the last time.
What's cooking? So we got sausages cut into meatballs with a pasta tomato sauce with carrots, onions, salt and pepper, carrot, yeah. That's it really, chuck it all together and see what happens.
Harry gave some driving lessons in the Dingo armoured car.
Yeah, you think so? How did she do, Harry? Be honest.
I lost my glasses.
Did you like it, honey?
Yeah, I did. I lost my glasses first.
And he also demonstrated his party trick, which is the ability to drive through all the gears in reverse.
Ongelooflijk. Nina.
Wow!
That's incredible!
Wow!
That evening, our tame motorcyclist Dan from I Squadron was able to go into Arnhem to see the celebrations, including the marching and also the light display and music in the evening, which is quite incredible. Meanwhile, we bedded down because we had a very early start in the morning to get to the ferry.
Boys from Shopland heading back to Blighty. Ferries on the water, crossing the channel while old trucks are rolling. British roads are calling, highway lanes unfolding, our engines proudly roaring. Back to Blighty, we're returning, heartfelt tales, roads we're yearning, helping each other as we drive on, adventure's flame still forever strong, laughing through the journey.
Toby, one word, best part of the trip?
Tanks.
One word, best part of the trip?
Friends. educational.
Wheels going round and round. Oh, sorry. Coffee.
One word, best part of the trip? Cheese.
Best part of the trip?
Corbin.
Yeah, probably getting home.
Home?
Huttermosh.
Church.
Memories.
Community, teamwork, getting together, helping each other out to get through it.
That's 6 points. That's 4.
Memories so grand, military roots unite us, travelers hand in hand, wind in our faces, stories from places, echoes of the past, in every road we pass, back to
That looks pretty powerful for its size.
roads we're yearning, helping each other as we drive on, adventure's flame still forever strong. Laughing through the journey, memories so grand, military roots unite us, travelers hand in hand, wind in our faces, stories from places, echoes of the past, in every road we pass, back to blind.